The Silent Thief, Procrastination, and the Art of Standing Still. You've great ambitions, though possessing little will, dreamers, planners, and serial I'll do it tomorrowers. Let's talk about the thief that doesn't wear a mask, the villain that doesn't break in through your window because it lives comfortably in your head. Its name? Procrastination. It's subtle, charming even. It doesn't yell. It whispers. It doesn't steal your money. It steals your moments, your ideas, your potential. And the best part, it makes you its accomplice. The beautiful lie of later. Procrastination doesn't say, don't do it. It says, not now. It's persuasive. Gentle. Like a smooth-talking salesperson selling you comfort wrapped in guilt. You think you're buying time, but you're really mortgaging opportunity. It starts small. You check your phone. You tidy your desk. You convince yourself that productivity looks like reorganizing your sock drawer or scrolling for inspiration on social media. Hours later, your dreams are still sitting where you left them, untouched, unimpressed, and wondering if you've forgotten them. Procrastination loves logic. It tells you you're not ready yet. It tells you it has to be perfect before you start. And you believe it because perfection sounds noble, doesn't it? But here's the truth. Perfectionism is just procrastination in a tuxedo. The psychology of delay. Now, let's peel back the curtain. Why do we do this? At its core, procrastination isn't laziness, it's avoidance. A coping mechanism dressed as a personality quirk. See, your brain is a master negotiator between two forces, the rational self that wants long-term gain, and the emotional self that wants instant relief. When faced with a difficult task, something uncertain, overwhelming, or uncomfortable, your emotional self hits the big red button labeled escape. That escape might look like Netflix, snacks, a random Google search about ancient Roman plumbing systems, anything that offers immediate comfort. Why? Because the brain doesn't distinguish between physical and emotional pain. To your nervous system, the discomfort of effort feels like danger. And procrastination is your bodyguard, the one that says, don't worry, boss, I'll handle it, while quietly locking you out of your own potential. Spotting the triggers. So how do you know when procrastination is creeping in? It's sneaky, but it leaves clues. Here are the signs. You start a task, then suddenly remember 12 urgent things you absolutely must do first. You tell yourself you work better under pressure, even though every time that pressure arrives, you spiral. You feel busy, but if you look closely, none of that busyness moves you closer to your actual goal. You scroll endlessly thinking, I'm just researching. You promise yourself, tomorrow I'll be different, yet tomorrow looks suspiciously like today. If any of that sounds familiar, congratulations. You've spotted the thief in action. The cost of delay. Now let's talk about the bill procrastination sends you, because it always collects. It doesn't just cost you time. It costs you momentum. Every delayed action weakens your trust in yourself. You start to doubt your discipline, your dreams, your worth. And once that belief erodes, goals stop feeling possible, not because they're too big, but because you've convinced yourself you're too small. Procrastination is a master illusionist. It replaces progress with potential and then sells you pride for surviving another day of almost. But make no mistake, almost never built empires. Almost never wrote the book, launched the business, or changed the world. Why you stay stuck? You stay stuck because change requires friction, and friction feels uncomfortable. Because taking action means taking responsibility, and that's heavier than it looks. Because deep down, you are afraid of something. Maybe even afraid that you'll succeed. Afraid of failure, yes. But sometimes even more afraid of success. Because success demands consistency, visibility, and effort, and what if you can't keep up? What if they find out you're not as capable as you hoped? So we delay. We hesitate. We wait for the perfect time, not realizing the perfect time never arrives dressed as perfect. It arrives disguised as now, breaking the spell. All right, enough tap dancing. Let's break the cycle. Step 1. Make the task smaller. The brain hates vague, massive goals. Don't say write a book, say write for 10 minutes. Don't say change my life, say change my morning. Small steps trick the brain into motion, and motion kills fear. Step 2. Design your environment. Discipline is not just willpower, it's architecture. Remove distractions. Set timers. Make the path to action shorter than the path to avoidance. If your phone is the problem, put it in another room. If your workspace drains you, fix it. Your environment either pulls you forward or pulls you apart. Step 3. Reward progress, not perfection. Progress is measured by results, therefore your reward is also measured by your results. They should be in agreement, don't you think? The brain loves dopamine. Celebrate small wins, not just big ones. Every step forward deserves recognition, because you're retraining your brain to associate action with pleasure instead of pressure. Step 4. Forgive yourself. Be accountable for your actions. From the very moment you choose to change, you recreate yourself anew. No longer bound by the past you, for the past is a part of the distraction. And distractions have a purpose. Trick. You can't hate yourself into discipline. Guilt doesn't create momentum, compassion does. Learn to say, I procrastinated, but I'm starting now, because now is the only currency you ever truly have. Momentum over motivation. Here's a truth that will free you. You don't need to feel ready. You need to start. Motivation is a myth. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Start messy. Start scared. Start when it's inconvenient. Because motion builds energy. The first step is always the hardest, but once you take it, physics takes over. Objects in motion stay in motion. Dreams in motion do too. Becoming the architect of change. When you stop procrastinating, life doesn't suddenly get easier, it gets clearer. You begin to realize that progress is not about intensity, it's about consistency. That results don't come from waiting for lightning to strike, but from striking the match over and over until the fire catches. Every time you choose action over avoidance, you're rewiring your brain, rebuilding trust, and reclaiming time that used to belong to fear. Closing, the gift of now. So, what is procrastination really? It's not the enemy, it's the mirror. It shows you where your fears live, where your confidence wavers, where you've lost connection to your purpose. But once you see it for what it is, you can choose differently. You can trade the endless loop of someday for the power of today. The clock will keep ticking whether you act or not. The question is, when it stops, will you look back and say, I almost did, or I finally did? Because time doesn't wait. And neither should you. Now, go start.